it's been a big week, hasn't it? It's been a big week. Do you remember earlier this week when it turned out that successive governments had lied to you all about secretly importing Afghan refugees into Britain? We all remember that, don't we? And, you know, that little story, teeny tiny story about how thousands of them came over, some members of our own armed forces were then apparently turfed out of their homes so that we could make way for them, cost the taxpayer between 850 million and £7 billion, depending on which newspaper you read. But either way, a lot of money. And then they moved them into towns across Britain. And people were like, oh, gosh, is it me? Or are there suddenly loads of Afghans here? And you were told, don't believe your eyes, OK? You can't see them. No, that's not real. They're not really here. There had, in fact, always been a large Pashtun population in Bracknell. And actually, Stoke has always looked a bit like this. And then it turned out that the government decided to take out a super injunction to stop people like me reporting on it. We couldn't even say there was a super injunction. Pesky things, those super injunctions, aren't they? Anyway, so we all remember that. Right, well, then today it turned out that loads of them might be fake asylum seekers as well. So that's the icing on top of that cake, isn't it? Defence sources today told The Telegraph that of the 100,000 people revealed in this data breach, as few as maybe 1 in 16 people identified had genuine claims for resettlement. Now, unfortunately, one 16-year-old Afghan has been charged with a sexual offence near a British military base. But, of course, we were told he was brought over under one of the Afghan schemes that we knew about. But now there's serious concern that maybe he was brought over under the secret scheme. And it also turns out that, look, these well-meaning, helpful interpreters might have actually been working for the Taliban.
Because I dealt with it firsthand, that a number of the local nationals working for the coalition in Afghanistan were, without question of doubt, passing intelligence to the Taliban for 2 reasons. One, ideological support, and the other because their families were being threatened and they, in other words, were being coerced into passing that information on.
Look, again, as you will be able to see right here on the screen behind me, we know that the stats show that Afghans are more likely than any other nationality to commit a sex crime in Britain. So really, I think the question is, was it really the right thing to bring those people over?